Hello, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Cross Watchers. This is your tarot and oracle reading for the week ahead whenever you're finding it. If you're watching along as I post because you're subscribed, this will be for the week of August 19th through the 25th, 2024. First card out for you is Standstill in reverse. So you might feel, Scorpio, that you're at a standstill in your life, but in an uncomfortable way. Like maybe you have dreams, goals, income levels, relationships that you thought you would have had by now. And you're finding life to be moving rather slowly at this time. But Spirit is asking you to enjoy the slow ride. Enjoy the simple life. Enjoy each moment that you have wherever it is that you find yourself at, because it doesn't matter which reality we find ourselves in, what circumstances we find ourselves in. There are pros and cons to every single choice we make in life. There are pros and cons to every single set of circumstances we may find ourselves in. And even if you get what you want, there will still be the same amount of cons or challenges that you need to go through either to get there or that you'll experience once you do get there. And so all good things in life come at a price. All bad things in life equally have good things that happen, because we live in a neutral universe. We live in a universe where those who hold a lot more light also have to embody a lot of their shadows. Those who are very powerful and successful also have to go through rigorous trials and challenges to get there. Okay? And this is why it's important to find happiness from within as opposed to seeking it in your outer reality through relationships, money, etc. Because life is always changing, the energy is always changing, reality is always changing. There's going to be pros, there's going to be cons to everything. But if you're able to find peace and happiness from within, no matter where you're at, no matter if you have 2 broken legs, you're homeless on the streets, whatever the case may be, like if you can find peace within in those circumstances, if you can see the positive side, the pros of where you're currently at, then you're going to be golden for the rest of your life. Absolutely golden. That's the abundant mindset. We have the 7 of Vessels, morning. This was the first card that came out for Cancer as well. Kind of scary. You know, you're only the second sign I'm filming for, and you both had the same card. Wow. Only theirs was in reverse. Yours is upright. So I do feel like there could be some mourning that you are going through this week. You know, this could be the anniversary of a death in your family or the death of a close one for some of you. Really specific message there. That's not going to apply to everyone. Or something of that nature. You know, it kind of is like when you experience something really bad during a certain time period, like for example, like let's just say mid-August for you, like you went through a really bad breakup 2 years ago, and maybe like 3 years prior to that, like, I don't know, you lost your house or your job. I feel like every time we revisit that time of year, that same sort of energy can emerge within us, and we may literally be sad one day without knowing why. And if you look back, you know, there's a history around this time of year with this exact weather, you know, when things are similar, you went through something challenging, you know, even if you're not consciously aware of what it may be. And so, yeah, I am seeing some mourning if, you know, that is something that you're dealing with at this time. And I think it's great to not necessarily replace bad memories, but if you find that a certain time of year you get depression or you get really sad or you're mourning a lot, I think it's cool to try to plan very memorable positive experiences during that time so it can sort of balance out the energies for that exact time of year. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if there's like a death anniversary, by having like a nice get together with everyone who loved that person and having a little party around that time every single year, it can turn something sad into something that you might actually look forward to, seeing all of these people. You know what I mean? So it's just something like that is coming forward. We have the Six of Arrows transition. I see you on making strides, actually, forward in your life, and you're making a lot more progress than I think you give yourself credit for. This is sort of an overall energy of just trying to better your life, which is very honorable, and I love that you're doing that at this time. There could also be some desires for travel, even if you can't necessarily travel. We have the King of Swords, or King of Stones in reverse with the Wolf Spirit. Yeah, this is like wanting a change in scenery. Feeling like things may have been stagnant the same. Because the King of Pentacles represents somebody who is stuck in their ways. They still do things the old-fashioned way. They may still have some old-fashioned beliefs. I'm also starting to pick up this message here. If you're getting together with someone or like a family member or something that you don't normally see that often, you may be, I don't know, a little surprised at how closed-minded they are when it comes to certain subjects. And I'm seeing an image of you like venting those frustrations to a partner or like a best friend and having really interesting conversations about that. And again, it goes back to what I was just saying, where even when we experience something negative, there's an equal amount of positive that comes from it. Like, yes, you may be dealing with somebody who's a little bit closed-minded or still has a very old mindset in things. However, that experience can trigger some really deep conversations and connections with other people in your life that you feel really close to. We have the Two of Stones challenge. Try to avoid getting into any heated political or religious debate this week is something I want to say here. I think it's important for people to respect each other's opinions, even if they are different from our own. And one thing that I feel like the world struggles with right now is diplomacy and understanding you can still be friends with somebody who has a different opinion than you. You can be friends with somebody and not agree with how they live their life, how they go about their life. You don't have to surround yourself with people who think exactly like you. I understand the other side of thinking too, where, yes, if somebody's ways of thinking and living are so extreme, it could be very difficult to sit down and be normal around them and have normal conversations when they go to such massive extremes. But at the same time, calling people like that out usually doesn't get anywhere because they're so wrapped up in their own way of thinking. They don't listen to other people's opinions. Never have the thought in your head that you can change people. However, I don't know. Just try to avoid getting into an argument this week. Okay. We have the King of Arrows in reverse with Kingfisher. Yeah. Two kings in reverse in your reading, both coming out here. This is showing me some disputing energies and perspectives. We see one person here who is stuck in their ways and another person here who may have a hard time holding their tongue, okay? They're too harsh with their communication. They're too harsh and it can be off-putting. So this could be two people that you're dealing with this week, but this could also, one of these people, and I feel like if you were to be any of them, it would be this King of Swords here, King of Air, King of Arrows, which is, being a little bit too biting with your words. So be mindful of that. And also, these could be the same person. Like, there could be somebody who is closed-minded and they're really harsh when they speak. Again, it's just like, man, I'm choosing peace within myself. And that's the thing. When you have that internal peace, nothing can bother you anymore because you start to realize that the way that others treat you and treat anyone is really just a reflection of their own relationship with self. And you become a lot less personally offended by people and their beliefs. For example, for the longest time, I would get so angry at like deeply homophobic people until I realized through talking to some of these deeply homophobic people that most of them are gay, like straight up have gay or lesbian thoughts that they don't let themselves act out on. So when they see someone living freely, loving freely in the way that they want to love, they hate that because they were taught to hate themselves and to repress that part of themselves. So when they see somebody not hating that part of themselves, you know what I mean? Like, it's all projection. Whenever somebody is so deeply offended by something, that thing they're deeply offended by is triggering a feeling within themselves or a deep belief or wound within themselves. So when you do a lot of internal healing and you find a lot of inner peace within yourself, you become unbothered, And I feel like that's also the positive side of this standstill card, is becoming unbothered. See how they're in like a meditative state with no cares in the world? Like, that's what you're being asked to embody. And then we have the journey, or the death card here, letting go, releasing. Yeah, we have mourning. We have the 6 of arrows with the transition. We see here like the river Styx sort of depiction. And then we have the journey, which is the death card. So I do feel like there is a release, letting go happening this week, celebrating the end of a journey and a transition into another chapter in life, and I feel like you're really embracing this change, this transition. There could be people around you who are not embracing the same change and transition, and you may feel for them, like, oh, I wish you would heal and evolve and grow with me and not just stay stuck in the past, but there's nothing you can really do about it, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what you're dealing with this week. Thank you for joining me. Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of the week ahead. Like this video, comment how it resonates down below, and subscribe if you have not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there and spiritual life coaching sessions there, so check it out. Bye-bye.